Welcome on in, everyone. I'm excited to be here for some more glory in the Washington State Scholastic Esports Association state playoffs. Very excited to go ahead and crown some champions here on the Rocket League side of things. We have the semifinals and the finals ahead of us, all BO5s in these 2v2 matchups. I'm excited to get on into it. My name is Orbital. With me is Hot Sauce. We will be your casters for the upcoming two matches. Hot Sauce, how you doing today?
Hey, feeling great. Always love me some Rocket League. And we've got a lot of young, shining talent down here in the middle school region as well. This first one, Tenino and Turbo Titans. I don't know how many times I've seen Tenino in the championship, whether it's middle school or high school over here for WSSEA. I know they certainly have a great program, but it's just the semifinals. You got to win this one and one more if you want to be the champions.
Yeah, they tend to be at the reigning top of the tables, and that's a lot of fun to see. You can see the pathway that they both took. In the current moment, though, first seed Mustangs over on the other side, the Mason Middle School, I believe, they got knocked out. So we are seeing on the flip side of the table, Medical Lake Rocket League. They'll be facing off against the Trailblazers of Lewis and Clark, and we'll see who faces, who gets the fight in those grand finals like you talked about. But on this side of the bracket, it's the second versus third seed. Like you said, we're looking at Tenino, the squad that is kind of hailed in as the champions, but anything can change in a BO5, I feel like, and they might be challenged here at the end of the day.
Yeah, Lewis and Clark, it looked like they had a team down there in the lower one and in the upper one as far as the semis go. So Turbo Titans and above there, the medical squad. So potentially to see maybe those two teams in the finals there as well. But it is just a best of 5 here today. So, you got a little bit of breathing room, but, obviously you want to stay in that driver's seat. So I always look forward. Obviously, that first game can be a little bit sporadic, kind of a feeler game. I always kind of look for that second game in a best of 5 or 7 to kind of maybe give me an idea as how this pace might play out.
Yeah, I mean, that's when all the action starts to kick off, right? We can start seeing all the craziness. We start to see all the zaniness, especially in 2v2s, and we hope to have a lot of those fantastic moments. Speaking of fantastic moments, if you do spot one, make sure to think about Zotac, one of the amazing sponsors that has made it possible to go ahead and put on a lot of these productions for you across the ages. So we want to give a big shout out to them, to Zotac Gaming, for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast all to you, helping to showcase the amazing talent in Scholastic Esports itself, especially here in the middle school season when sometimes they don't get to be shown so much on stream. The moments that do get captured, we want you to go ahead and on social media, go ahead and use a hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you make those posts to go ahead and show a little bit of love over to Zotac Gaming. Once again, that is ZOTAC Gaming. Thank you very much for that one, and big shout out to Zotac for making this all happen.
Yeah, get out there, tag Zotac, and let them know who you might think win today's playoff match or the championship as a whole. You can see on the screen there, Lewis and Clark Middle School as the Turbo Titans, one of 2 teams still here in the playoffs. And Tenino Middle School, we talked about Tenino and their ability to win and win in bunches, multiple seasons in a row here as well. And now the middle school looking to ring true again, just a best of 5 here. And we typically used to see in that 3v3, 2v2 can be a little bit more sporadic. You don't have that third player kind of playing that goalie rotation, keeping the drive alive around midfield. And so not as much room for minor mistakes when it comes down. You kind of got 2 1v1s happening basically.
Yeah, and I feel like when we watch that happen, there are situations that do occur where an individual is able to perform a little bit better. When it's 3v3, there's a lot more passing, there's a lot more space. So you saying that it is more like 2 individual 1v1s makes a lot of sense. Rotations don't get to come in as cleanly when you're on the defensive end. On the offense, passes aren't exactly comfortable. I mean, normally it's like a 1-1 standard, or you push with 2 and then have to kind of leave your goal undefended. So it really does imply that one player needs to make a lot of these bold movements. One player needs to have a lot of this power behind them. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see that one player step up to that table. We get to see a Tenino kind of star shine at the end of the day. If we do, that's going to be a treat and a half. But if we don't, maybe it is that passing play, and maybe we do get that Lewis and Clark action, as their name implies. Get that the Trailblazers as a 2-man combo working down the field.
Yeah, and for me, I'm demos, bumps. We always talk about on how great they can be in 3s, but just as heavy in 2s. I mean, get yourself a 2v1, you really open up that backfield, give yourself a bunch of opportunities to maybe find those scores here. But we're going to waste no more time getting into it. Lewis and Clark Middle School tonight, ready to go head-to-head here in this best of 5.
It's going to take a little time and then some. Slow pace. At least for the moment, Tenino decked out in all black for Lewis and Clark. It's all white. Kind of love it there. Love the contrast in the colors. Home and away, if you will. Quick punt, though, as this is going to be Tenino with a clean goal number 1. Just 30 seconds into this game.
Yeah, barely at the start here, and you just see it, right? Tenino off the sidewall, well read here, and unfortunately for Lewis and Clark, they were trying to get back toward that goal in time, but it didn't appear that they had any boost in the tank, you know, and that boost management, an equally important aspect of a game like Rocket League. You don't always need those hundreds in the corner or at midfield, those nickels and dimes posted up across the field there as well. That padding, incredibly important.
It is, and it's also very dangerous as well. You know, if you cross once and you're in the wrong spot, things go sideways. For Tenino, though, what a beauty of a shot there. Now an opportunity for a second. Lewis and Clark able to divert. They are going to kind of push their way to the midfield. Quick demo, though, will secure it for Tenino as they lost one of their teammates, but scored the goal.
They had one dip away, and he said, you know what, it's no problem. I'll take control until they're able to return. And it's a nice little play, right? You see both defenders coming out from that goal. So Lewis able to get above the competition there, and it's nothing too fancy, too powerful. You just chip it on into the back of the net, and well, you find yourselves up by 2. Barely a minute off the clock now.
Going to go for the third. The number 13, whoever's wearing that jersey, they are flying very true, but what a spike through just past both defenders. That will be Lewis and Clark, number 3, to slam home 1.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of an issue that we've seen here early, and I think it's a little bit more common in these twos. You might be used to having that third rotation back, but we see him kind of getting a little bit too far forward here and then not being able to get back and defend that net in time. So all things you have to consider here as well. And it's another open net. It eventually finds its way in, bar down. And just like that, being down by 2 and now finding the equalizer with 3:47 still left on the clock.
I love it so much. High offensive movements in this game already. 4 goals in less than 2 minutes. These teams don't want to give a single inch. A little bit of hot bounce coming in from Tenino's end, so the ball will streak out towards that left side. It's not exactly a split in their favor, but it's a quick air carry. No real dribble to be had, though, as it's punted off that corner pocket. Tenino sprinting back, trying to cover on the defensive end. High ball jump. Ball kind of lands in no man's land. 3 out of boost, just trying to reposition. Get space for number 13, but 4 from Lewis and Clark ready to go.
To find that stop. The 9:10 will keep the drive alive momentarily, but it's pressure out now from Lewis and Clark, and they'll have an opportunity, but Tenino 13 reads this one well. Now in transition, tries to get over the head of Lewis here, but again, the play well read, and we're seeing both teams look a little bit more comfortable now that these first couple minutes have kind of come to a settle here.
I hope it's only going to continue as you're going to see a little sprint. That's an open net, and they will roll it all in. Lewis and Clark, 4. Whoever wears the 4 jersey, scoring once.
Yeah, you know, as I was a little bit worried. It felt like Lewis and Clark was maybe struggling a little bit in those opening moments, excuse me. But maybe after stumbling along the way, it seems that they have found their stride. And, well, 3 unanswered goals now from Lewis and Clark. But as we speak about it, we'll see Tenino with an answer. And that one comes from deep as well. All tied up, and we're just about halfway through map number 1.
That's pretty close to say. That was an almost near kickoff goal. Very swift in that retaliation and these spaces, you know, that early kickoff, it's such a gamble if it's going to go your way or not. And I love that speed that they're giving. For Tenino, though, you're really trying to recognize that play for yourself. Ball pops up in mid, though, a chance to steal. As 3 watches it swing on by. A quick punt towards the net as it'll roll on in. Number 13 with their 4th out of 6 converted.
I mean, we're looking at 7 goals, and we're still a second away from that halfway point. So game ones, though, they can be high-scoring games. We talk about those feeler games, trying to figure out your opponents, how you want to dissect these plays here in front of you on the pitch as well. But Tenino will be enjoying that driver's seat for the moment. We've seen Lewis and Clark battle back. It was 3 unanswered goals there for a minute, but now it's Tenino. They've rekindled that flame, and these 2 teams continue to duke it out now around midfield.
I do wonder if it's going to A break at some point. I'm almost just waiting for the Trailblazers to score their fourth as well. This game has gone on for a decently long while. There's going to be the high-flying kick. Trailblazers see a net opportunity, but a good divide by T90. 9-0 upset about where the ball's placed, and Lewis and Clark slam it on home. There's the tie that I was looking for, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, it just gets a bit dicey, right? We see Tenino 10 in the corner there, and they don't find the touch that they were hoping to get. It sends the ball back in front of the net, and Lewis and Clark sees it and says, hey, a piece of candy. They just power on through, knock it into the back of the net. And, well, you guessed it yet again. We're all tied up, but a crazy kickoff goal from Louis C3 will find them up by 1 now and in the driver's seat for, I think, the first time here tonight.
Ooh, and it looked like they were just trying to go for a glancing shot, but Tenino missed the ball completely, so a little bit of a kickoff error, but in 2v2s, that's the situation. Sometimes you're assuming that you'll always get that ball, and this time it just did not work. Well done by Lewis Clark. So looking for yet another opportunity. The ball goes errant, though, as we're down to the last 2 minutes in this game, number 1. High scoring does not even begin to describe the speed and pace that these teams are playing at. Nearly double-digit goals here in game number 1.
See if they can keep up this tempo. To do it for a full best of 5 can be a tough thing to do, but these young talent out here on the field certainly up to the challenge here. And Tenino 13 reads this one off the backboard. The post is there. The secondary touch does not come in, and they make a goal line stand here.
Solid defense. Only took a moment, but we're able to adjust. You talked about those game number 1s, that kind of limit testing period, as I like to call it. Figure out what you're good at and what works against your opponent. So far, all about not having that defense available. Tenino looking to sprint one past the goal line. Fortunately, it's not going to happen, in a whiff on that steal. Good spots for Lewis and Clark Middle School as it rolls even closer, but Tenino says it's good. That'll be the tie that we are waiting for, 5-5.
I mean, 10 goals here, and we've still got a little less than a minute to play out. You really don't know how this one's going to unfold, and both teams just hungry to get that first game win up on the board there and get into that driver's seat, but not ready to go silently into the night. Both of these two teams continue to scrap it out, this time back toward midfield. Lewis and Clark will scoop it up, and now back the other way by Tenino 10. Out at midfield, looking to scoop up the 100. It's not there. The pressure comes in. He'll collect the 100 in the corner. The pass is good, and it baits out both defenders. Tenino back on top with just 26 seconds left.
And that's the champs right there, the teams that are always in those grand finals. That's always at the top of the standings. You know how it goes. Very well done, Lewis and Clark. They're on the back foot once more with 30 seconds left, though. That feels like plenty of time. Sidewinder of a kickoff. Nobody really there to cover. Tenino try and host it under their own. They're now just playing with a little bit of time. Lewis and Clark, are they going to get that field length? 10 seconds left. Solo carry by 3. Off the backboard in front of the net. Is someone there? Great defense coming out of Tenino here in game number 1. Ball is now juggled, but Tenino feels like they got it, and it will be grounded just in front of the net. Tenino up 1.
I mean, you think maybe if that goes on another 5 seconds, we might be very well headed to overtime. Tenino able to hang on to the very end and scave off this win from Turbo Titans, or the tie rather, for OT. But 1,000 points for Tenino 13. 9 shots, 4 goals, a couple assists, 3 saves, you name it. Really getting the job done here in game number 1.
Yes, very, very strong. And I do appreciate that both teams have kind of said, yeah, we're not worried about, defense at this point. We're really, really not. Just score as much as you can to get that push going, and eventually it'll lead to success. And it was very well played by them. 9 shots by Tenino's Esport 13. Number 13, very much on the ball. 2 assists as well as 3 on that defense, on those saves. Very, very impactful as Tenino start off strong, but Lewis and Clark are ready to go for game 2. They were just a few seconds away from OT.
I mean, they really turned it on. It was just those first couple minutes that kind of kept them at bay a little bit, but they went on a nice three-goal spree there and really began to fight back. So They can continue that momentum, allow it to spill over here in game number 2 and find that early start. They very well could tie the series up to 9-0. Looking for a counterattack. It has been forwarded away, and now across midfield, Lewis, off the backboard, not able to gather that touch, though. We do see Tenino kind of bumping into each other a little bit.
The bumps aren't bad. I think both teams have kind of recognized that getting each other out of position is huge, just like that. A sweeping drive by number 10. Send it on in. Beautiful job.
Tenino, they continue to swarm that net, and it's just not the clear that Lewis and Clark were looking for there, unfortunately. Not enough mustard on it. Tenino, great positioning to find that early goal yet again. Now, we saw Lewis and Clark find a relatively quick response in that previous game as well. They're going to need something similar here, but it seems like Tenino's beginning to pick up that pace a bit now.
Speed at which that ball is flying around, an attempt at a steal and slide into the net. Lewis and Clark took a very dangerous path with that ball. With the flying around, it's a little bit hard to control. Both shots go very, very wide. Will drive an opportunity even further. Good side defense coming in from Lewis and Clark. The Trailblazers keeping the net safe, but also trying to hammer a couple shots into the opposing side. Both teams starting to figure out their defense a little bit quieter here in game number 2.
I mean, we went from, 11 points, I think, in that last one to only 1 here for the time being. Now, I expect to see that go up a little bit, but maybe not as much as we saw in game number 1. Tenino, at the moment, has been relentless on the pressure. This one gets away from Lewis and Clark a bit, but they're able to take a deep breath and reset. Tucked into the corner. Tenino 13 will look to carry across. It's in front of the net, but Lewis and Clark will read this one. They'll find a bit of a half clear and look for something to work with.
About 2 minutes gone. Both teams truly shoring up their defense. I can only imagine it's going to get a little bit better, which makes it much tougher on the offensive. Now the team wants to get that space over, but there it is. What a weird turnaround, and number 10 wasn't ready. Number 4 from Lewis and Clark spotted the opportunity and took it.
You're going to see another look at it here as well. Tenino kind of circling back toward that net, but heading outside first, getting away from the net. It's wide open for Lewis and Clark, and they get that one on a silver platter. They find the equalizer here with 2:50 on the clock. Anything could happen here at this point.
I mean, we literally saw these teams scrap it out with, I think it was 3 goals in under 30 seconds towards the end of game number 1. There is no stopping the chaotic, the absolute silliness and the chaos that can come from a situation such as this. Recognizing the ball will drop down to the ground. No big chase in the air. Lewis and Clark instead opting for a little bit of a slow play, just keeping track of where Tenino will be.
This one gets over the head of Louis C4 for a moment. Lewis able to gather themselves. Tenino 13 scooped it up, a back and forth, and again a wide open net. We see Tenino 10, I think, cheating forward, expecting 13 to get that clear, to find this touch here, but it's what is that, Louis C3 there, it looked like, that stole that one away, finds the back of the net. Now Lewis and Clark will be enjoying that lead with 2:06 on the clock.
Sauce, I know you say enjoying it, but they'll only enjoy it for a short while. Tenino have a very long history of turning that over, not just in their previous track records of constantly winning and knowing how to overcome some of these situations, and also in these games, the fast-scoring nature has seen Tenino very aggressively keep these within a +1 or just tying it straight up. Nearly a dead ball in front of the net will be driven out of space. Tenino will charge down on the other side of the field. However, I might agree with you. Lewis and Clark hanging on to this lead for a lot longer than I imagined.
Just about 90 seconds here, and Lewis and Clark would love to put another one on the board and get that 2-point cushion. Try to ensure that they're able to tie this series up here before it gets out of hand, but Tenino's got other plans, and now coast to coast, they found it. The equalizer does rain down, as Orbital had spoke about, and now we find ourselves tied up once more.
Just a hair short by number 4 on the Trailblazers side. It hurts to watch that go in, but with this tie, Tenino just need one more to push it over the edge. That goal, though, took about 2 minutes in the making. See if they can speed it up here for their third.
Ball floating high and dry around midfield. Lewis C4 tries to settle it down. I don't even know if that was an intentional shot, but it was straight on target to Nino. They come up with one heck of a save to keep that one out, and the score is tied. Now over the top, they're fighting to get back, and Nino from deep will find the lead in just under a minute.
Oh, just that moment. The ball dropped by number 3 in the air. And it's such a clean shot by Tenino. Really, really well done. Lewis and Clark, they've dug deeper, though. They dug deep in game number 1. Let's see them dig deep here. It's a net ball chance, though. If you can get around this defender, no, it will not happen. Number 10 trying to speed past number 4, but instead it's a shot on the goal. Hits off the crossbar. Number 4 ties it right back up once more. 50 seconds left. 3-3.
I mean, that took no time yet again. And Lewis and Clark just saying, hey, we're willing to match this aggression of Tenino. We have come to play. We want our shot to hoist that trophy in that championship. And well, they certainly have come to play. They found that equalizer, but can they get that one to get them up and over the top? They're fighting out in front of the net, but now it's a booming clear. And can the defender get back in time? Tenino on the runaway. It's not the final nail in the coffin, but they're continuing to hammer it home.
They are playing in-your-face aggressive here under a minute. Dribbled past, saw the open space, and sent it. Trailblazers forgot to look behind them. Now they have only 35 to work with. Are they going to find a quick boost in off the back? Is anyone there? No, if you had a third, you would. But it's a one-man offense with your teammate in the goal line. Number 4 diverse, but that could have been the tying game if you were a little bit more willing to go for it.
That's unfortunate. It's so close, and then it gets ripped from the grasp of your fingers, and you wonder about, hey, maybe if we would have done this. But in a game like Rocket League, you can't think about it because everything is unfolding in front of you in real time. And if you let that linger in the back of your mind, those minor mistakes can happen. We see this one here, just not quite able to get that car in front of the ball. Tenino, a 2-point cushion with 9 seconds left, looking to get to match and series point here.
That one's tough. I mean, you were there the entire time. Number 4 has been relegated to just goalie defense. It just wasn't in your comfort zone. Ball will touch in front, but does not deter from Tenino's run here. 5-3 scoreline will give Tenino their second. One more step to go.
I mean, it appears that Tenino doesn't score much less than a minimum of 5 goals per game. And so for Turbo Titans, they're going to have to be able to score in bunches, but they're going to have to find a way to slow down the attack of Tenino, because it seems like once they get that ball rolling, that snowball potentially turns into an avalanche. So something that they'll have to pump the brakes, kind of get in check. But honestly, you know, the scoreline really doesn't do it justice, right? We saw a 6-5 game, and then obviously they scored there in the final moment. But realistically, these are 2 games that are pretty much separated by a single point.
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel like if we're looking at Lewis and Clark, they've had their awesome moments. This idea to place a solo defender back on the net, though, has hampered their offense. Yes, it diverts away from a lot of the fast-paced breakaways. It's kind of slowed down the scoring. You know, we say that even though you look at Tenino and they easily place another 5, but it does feel like the offense has slowed down a little bit. And so that shortens the amount of time that you're going to have. If I'm looking at Lewis and if I'm looking at this Trailblazer squad, I'm telling them, hey, go fast. You know, really try and get double attackers back out on the field, get more aggressive, and maybe you can keep Tenino at bay.
You know, I've always seen, especially at the scholastic level, sometimes having that designated goalie gives you a little bit of comfort. But realistically, if you want to take it to that next level, you can't have somebody stationary in that goal. Rotations are incredibly important. And so when that front guy loses that momentum, it's kind of their job to circle back to the far post of the net, collecting boost along the way, and then getting prepped to push back out, all while that goalie has pressured out and tried to keep that drive alive, so to speak. So rotations, basic fundamentals, incredibly important. I agree with you. I want to see you know, the Turbo Titans getting both players out there and up the field. At this point, you know, it's one of those things. It's about having fun, yes, but you don't have anything to lose. So get out of that comfort zone a little bit, go attack the ball, and you never know what might happen.
I think for them, they're also just a little bit worried. Number 10 and number 13 both on the Tenino squad have been very aggressive in their own right. So we have seen a little bit of that shift in there. So I expect that we are getting in as we're actually deep into game number 3 and Lewis and Clark are up 2. What in the world happened here?
You know, we blinked our eyes for a moment. The kids say, hey, we're ready. We're hungry for a dub. Lewis and Clark gets out onto the pitch. It's pedal to the metal. And in the blink of an eye, they're up by 2 with just a couple minutes off the clock. Lewis and Clark really looking to turn the series around now.
I mean, that was so good. And it instills a lot of confidence in the Lewis and Clark looking that much stronger now, but can they hold it? We've seen Tenino rip leads away. I mentioned this before. Will it happen again? A little bit of a rough shot into that wall, into open space, just to say, with that demo. Slow one rolls in front, but number 3, the Trailblazers side, starting to get a good read on how they're wanting to play defense.
A great job so far, but not out of that water just yet, that deep water, so to speak. And Tenino, they have been that sharks, or those sharks in the deep water smelling blood, and they've been relentless here in this series. But talk about consistency being key and king, and you know, I think that's what we see. It's tough to play, you know, 15 minutes of perfect Rocket League. That's a nice thing about having a 2-game lead in the series, though. If you have a little bit of a tougher game in game 3 or 4, you've got that breathing room to kind of work with it.
It's another goal. It's just another opportunity. Tenino seeing a chance at a 3-0 sweep to move on to the grand finals out of their reach. They might have yet to play yet another. And it looks like maybe we talked a little bit too much. There's the rotations that we were waiting for. Double in the net from Lewis and Clark. Good little bump out as the coverage is coming on in. Lewis and Clark, though, number 3 still playing. Oh, and number 4 speeds on by, but number 3 comes in from the right side swipe. Tenino's number 13 left to stall out, has to go back for more boost.
And we see him collect it toward midfield. Now we'll power in, but he's already expended all the boost. 1 left in the tank, but he says, I think that's all I need. Tenino will get on the board. Can they find their footing? Can they trudge to the trenches and find a way to come back here in game number 3?
I think they can do it, but it's going to take a lot of work, a mountain of work, I think. Of course, they scaled mountains so easily in other situations. I assume they're going to be doing it here no less as well. A little run by, as this is going to be that touch and go moment. Listen, Clark don't want to allow Tenino a big chance at their net, and that means challenging them on that midfield. Quick run towards the net, though, and a good adjustment will give the save. Tenino trying to make sure no more goals go down. Quick roll by, though, as you miss that defense, the ball will roll on in. Lewis and Clark up to 4. What a change here.
Yeah, Tenino maybe wishing they could have had that one back. The first defender just gets under the ball and hits the car. The second one not quite able to orientate themselves correctly in time. And Lewis and Clark, I mean, this is something that can really rekindle that flame. If they're able to win this 3rd game and win it definitively, they may well see them find that reverse sweep. We always talk about how tough that sweep is. I think Tenino kind of experiencing some of that, but that reverse sweep, even tougher.
At this point, seen them score in under 20 seconds. We've seen them score in under 15. Can they score in under 10? That's what it feels like they're going to have to do. Lewis and Clark are not going to give them that opportunity. The curl by, 1 minute remaining. That ball not exactly in their hands. What a dance here as Lewis and Clark continue to burn time.
You know, and we see that goalie not being stationary back there, right? We see Lewis and Clark sending both forward, getting down there and getting vicious in front of that goal line. Tenino on the back pedal, it gets a bit squirrely and somehow able to find the stop. But with only 30 seconds on the clock and to find 3 goals, it may not be impossible, but it is often unheard of.
It's unheard of for some people to even get a goal on the board, but in this situation, I have to agree. They're doing this quite well. Another demo, just icing on the cake. Lewis and Clark at odds with Tenino here in this series, looking for that reverse sweep as they put Tenino's favorite number on their scorecard.
You know, you stole the words right from my brain. I was just thinking about it. You know, we said that if Turbo Titans want to win, They've got to put up at least 5 or so, but they've also got to find a way to slow Tenino down. Well, they double down. I mean, they do both, and they do it extremely well here in Game 3. 5-1 should the scoreline stand. I mean, maybe they sneak in another one here after regulation comes to a close, but 5-1, 5-2, whatever it might end here now is a great turnaround and a great performance from the Turbo Titans.
Really, really well done right there. And I can only imagine it's going to get better because these feel so back and forth. I'm really, really liking it. That's 2-1 so far. You can see Lewis and Clark 4 and 3, both given GGs on that game. It was very fast paced. It was very exceptional. But for Tenino, all you need is just one more, and I expect them to be able to fight back.
Yeah, we see Tenino kind of suffering in the shot column a little bit, where we saw, I think, 13 previously posting 9 shots, so a little bit more silent. But, we saw both Tenino players have a couple assists in the previous one, and it just felt like they weren't as active here. It almost felt like, Tenino suffering a little bit what we saw Turbo Titans, kind of designating Tenino 10 toward that goal line, kind of leaving them further back. And Lewis and Clark was able to step forward and really take advantage of those numbers.
I think it's only going to continue, as right now we are diving on in game number 4. It is almost do or die time for these schools. All it might take is one more. If it is do or die time, it's going to be a treat and a half. Kickoff will be sent off to the stratosphere as we're in for the semifinals. The WSSEA Rocket League Middle School 2v2 Championship. Getting hot in here.
Hey. Always hot in here with the Orbital in the booth, baby. Bringing the high, the fire reaction. But Tenino, they're hoping to not make the same mistakes they did in that previous when we talked about it, right? They've already got 2 games on the board. They just need one more to close it out. So they had a little room for error. They had a chance to take a deep breath and reset in between games 3 and 4. Now we're ready to see if they can come out swinging once more. We see both teams kind of tightening up the defense here a little bit. Both teams getting attempts or offensive chances down the line, but nobody able to solidify that early goal just yet.
I think if you're looking at this pace, I think both teams have really shelled out on their defensive end. Neither team really overextending like you were talking about in game number 1, so I think they heard you. Hot Sauce, they were like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Let's shore up our defense. Let's make sure we're rotating, but always having someone kind of on the back field. We're never allowing ourselves to get all the way out of position. And I do like it quite a bit. So right now it's Tenino defending on their own goal line, bumping it over to number 10. Minute and a half, the quietest start that we've had to a game thus far.
Tenino 10 and 13 trying to work together. We saw that pass play about to come into fruition, but not able to solidify it. This is a dangerous pass in front of the net. Tenino 13 has enough boost in the tank to continue to carry it around the horn. Now across midfield, and it's a big demo in front of the net. It opens up for Tenino 10. Not quite able to find the touch they need. Still needs to keep this down here in Lewis and Clark territory, but fighting at midfield. Ball high and dry once more. The 50 slightly favoring Tenino as he's able to scoop it up. Now in front of the net, Lewis and Clark will read it and deny it.
Things getting a little bit spicy here. Both teams don't want to give that edge over. It's no longer a game of can I catch up to the tie. It's are we going to let it get to that point. A little bit of a kick flip over straight into the arms, but it rolls right in front. Opportunity not going to be granted here. A little bit slower on that read. Still, we haven't had a goal yet this game. All Tenino needs is one. If they can get one, they will be in a solid spot. First half done, second half coming, and there it is. It rolls on in. Tenino, as it turns the halfway, says thank you very much.
And I'm wondering if this was planned or not, because we saw Tenino 13 in the sky, and it looked like maybe he missed the touch, but maybe he was called off from Tenino 10 as well, and he read it, kind of fake it in the sky. He allows the ball to fall. Tenino 10 scoops it up, fires it into the back of the net, and they get their first on the board. An open net here for Lewis as we see Tenino going for that corner boost, able to get back in time, so no harm, no foul, but now just about 2 minutes left. Tenino enjoying the lead for now, but I feel like no matter what team you are, you cannot be happy. You cannot settle for just a single goal.
No, not at all. You got to be moving forward at all points, it feels like, and you're going to try your best here. Where is it going to go? That's the big question. 2 minutes remaining. Tenino rounding the corner. They want one more. Great demo to open up a little bit more space. I don't think it's going to happen. We go on a little bit further. We still wait and see. Ball kicked out. Lewis and Clark having a lot of struggles right now, finding something to their name.
Well, they've got 1:30 to figure it out, which is plenty of time to find that equalizer, maybe build off the back of the momentum of a late game goal. But these 4 players are ready to trade some paint and scrap out the car parts till the end of this one. They continue to fight tooth and nail. It's a banger of a shot from 13, but Lewis C3 reads it well. Finds a defensive stop, looking for another chip shot over the head, and I like the play that we saw there from 13. Unfortunately, not able to finalize it, but you can see it beginning to unfold in their mind.
Oh, that's another space opening opportunity, and I love that you called it out. We see glimpses of glory in the individual 1v1s for Tenino's middle school squad. Just hasn't led to fruition, and this is the lowest scoring game so far, which means tensions are extremely high, but the opportunity is found, and number 13 will send the second in.
And Lewis and Clark has been playing so well. We look at how good they did in game 3 and 5, a 5-1 showing. I mean, they really shut Tenino out of those scoring lanes, but it's some early troubles that lead to late game problems, and now a 2-point cushion here for Tenino. They are looking to advance into the championships, but Lewis C3, a roller from midfield, and all of a sudden this game is still winnable for Lewis and Clark.
Extremely winnable. What a rare opportunity. I wouldn't have seen that happen before. Chaotic, to say the least. 40 seconds, Lewis and Clark. Are you going to pull Tenino on us? Are you going to pull a last-second 2 goals to either tie or send us to a game 5? It's all down to your own play. It's all down to your own nerves. Do you have it here?
Fortunately, we saw Lewis and Clark bump into each other going up the midfield. They weren't able to get to the ball in time, and right there we see Tenino just taking advantage of it. It's 1 defender left back, not a ton of boost in the tank, and well, Tenino capitalizing on the opportunity in front of them. 21 seconds left, 2 goals here for Lewis and Clark, and they need just something short of a miracle, and they might get it. It's a kickoff goal. Tenino just has to play patient and smart. They don't want to give up any free goals, and they may just allow Lewis and Clark a ticket back in.
I can't believe it, Hot Sauce. I cannot believe we're here at this moment right now. These have gotten so spicy. All right, ball in their hands. Very fast shot, but a good, strong defense. Tenino read it like a book. They're going to play defense. Little bump on the side. Scramble in the corner. It pops out. Is someone on Lewis and Clark's side able to take that flip? Yes, they do, but it's too little too late. Ball will be grounded into Tenino. We'll move on to the grand finals.
I mean, what a nail biter, though. It comes down to the wire, and I actually thought Lewis and Clark was going to be able to push that one into overtime. Regardless of the outcome, they should certainly hold their heads high. They had a phenomenal regular season run, followed up by an amazing postseason run, and a little short here in semifinals, but they should absolutely be proud of the performance and the cinematic show they put on for all of us here today.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so proud of what they've done so far and to make it here. You know, as you mentioned, this is the playoffs. This is time for the teams to kind of fight their hardest and show what they've done through the regular season. Every single player deserves to be here. Every single team deserves to be here. I can only imagine it's going to get even better, but you know, winners are winners at the end of the day. Tenino moving on and saying, we are not done yet. We have 1 more series ahead, which means we here on the desk have 1 more series as well. We will take a very short break. When we come back, it's more WSSEA action headed your way as we will crown a middle school 2v2 set of champions. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2026 Middle School State Champions. We've got one final best of five to rule them all. Tenino taking on Medical Lake Middle School, and I'm excited for this one. Can Tenino get the job done yet again? My name's still Hot Sauce, joined by the handsome Orbital. How are we feeling about this final matchup, my friend?
Feeling good, feeling good. Again, when it comes to Tenino, you're very, very excited to kind of watch them play things out and continue to try and be kind of that big dog on campus. So I'm very, very excited to see what more they can do. And again, if they can get a crown for themselves. For Medical Lake, though, they've done some shenanigans. They so far toppled quite a few different members, and that to me is going to be my favorite part of it all. You know, how crazy are you really going to get with kind of toppling the Giants here?
Look, I understand. I live in Ohio. My football team is always the underdog. We just can't win. So I'm always rooting for an underdog. The fact that Medical Lake has been upsetting some very top tier teams all the way through the playoffs lets me know that this is a team to look out for. They've made their ticket into the championship. And I mean, what a phenomenal story that they could potentially write into the history books here.
Yeah, I really do think that they have what it takes to be the best of the best, especially with kind of this miracle run in here with these kind of grands. So I really do hope they can show us what makes them so special, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, I'm just so curious on why they're doing so well and how they're doing so well. Is it just overall aggressiveness? Is it just kind of the chaos of it? Like, what brings you to this benefit, to this kind of powerhouse moment where you've literally taken down everyone in front of you and really upset the standings?
Yeah, now you got to face Tenino, a school that's very good at winning, it would appear, and so I think this is a great challenge for Medical Lake, and really that final step, right, the final hurdle to be able to hoist that championship of 2026. So again, it is just a best of five, so there's a little bit of breathing room, but really not much room for error.
No. When it comes down to it, we've seen how quickly Tenino is also able to punish a lot of mistakes going in there. So when we talk about this matchup, even if we're talking about, you know, hey, you've had a lot of victories for Medical Lake, you can't be making shoddy mistakes. We know Tenino will punish it. So as much as we want to see this kind of Cinderella story continue to pop off, Medical Lakes have a lot of work to do. And this opening game, I think, is going to give us a lot of information about it. Tenino have a habit of playing very fast off of the kickoff and very aggressive, even with the two-man setup. It's why we actually saw, I think, we saw Turbo Titans actually falter a little bit, because we saw Tenino, no matter if they got the kickoff or not, they would send two towards the net. They would constantly be aggressive. They would constantly be looking forward, which means that if Medical Lake mess up on the kickoff and adjust for, hey, we got the ball, you might split the wrong way and Tenino gets a free goal. So I want to know how Medical Lake plays here, because if you are shoddy with your defense, with your kickoff, with anything, Tenino will punish.
Yeah, you know, and at times, though, we did see Tenino cheating maybe a little bit too far forward. We saw Lewis and Clark able to kind of get a couple freebie kickoff goals, because you've got the one going for the ball and then one going for that corner boost as well. So all things that you can potentially look to exploit, but you know, we talk about it all the time, right? You have to be consistent at it. You have to play near flawless for a full 5 minutes to get the job done. And well, we've seen Tenino do that on screen. We know that Medical Lake has done it off screen because they've upset some big teams, but now we get to see these two juggernauts go head to head and clash it out one final time.
Well, let's dive on in, see if they got what it takes to crown themselves champion, and they will try their best. Ball eked out left side, pop fly, if you will. Nobody there to catch it, though. It will dribble down to just everyone kind of condensing around this corner, trying to fight your way out. Ball rolls in front of the net, though. Opportunity abound, and so crash into that post. And number 13 will put it away for a very fast first goal.
And that's that relentless pressure that you were mentioning a moment ago from Tenino. It doesn't matter. It's the opening moment. When that clock turns from 5 minutes to 4:49, they are pedal to the metal. They are all go. And we see it here in the opening moments. It results in a wonderful goal for them. And now it's up to Medical Lake to find a way to answer back. And they need a relatively quick response, because they do not want Tenino to start running away with it here in game one.
I mean, I said it before, right? This is the speed at which Tenino will play. If you are a little bit slow, things will get out there, things will become problematic, and things will not go your way. We got Dominator Super as well as Razor on the other end for the squad, as that's going to be a kick and a nice demo in front. So if that ball had gone your way, it would have been the right opportunity. However, for Tenino, you're able to defend very, very well. Will keep your net safe. Keep your 2-goal lead with your advantage.
9:13 scoops up the boost at mid. It'll be well read here from Medical Lake. They play it off the back wall above the net. Dominator looks to carry it out. Can't quite get the flick over the head as Tenino will win the 50. And this one back in dangerous territory. Medical Lake, he scoop up that 100 into the corner, recollect some boost, continue to fight for the ball. They'll get some pressure, but it's immediately taken away by Tenino. Razor finds a nice save. Just subtly touches it into the corner, scoops up the boost, but look, it's Tenino right here yet again. They have been a relentless firing squad here in game one.
I mentioned it before, they are over aggressive, but it doesn't feel like this is the same aggression from Turbos. The Turbo Titans series, it just feels aggressive. It really does feel like that. It doesn't feel over aggressive. It doesn't feel like they're leaving their net wide open. It's open, don't get me wrong, but you have to in a 2v2, right? You're not going for triple to quadruple touches on the ball once you're shooting on the net. You're going for a 1-2 and then immediately hammering back on the defense and then intercepting like here in the midfield. I really do respect what we're seeing out of Tenino, who from the semifinals has kind of cleaned up a lot of their mistakes.
Yeah, they're certainly looking like they're feeling very comfortable at the moment. I think you said it great. They're still being very aggressive, but it doesn't seem like that same aggression. It seems more methodical, more planned out. Rotations are there. They're finding those secondary touches. Obviously, they're both up here, so the net's open, but you're right. They're finding those secondary touches. They're making sure that they're spaced out equally amongst each other so that they can play off of each other. And they just seem to be like they're playing near perfect Rocket League for the time being. Medical Lake, they'll get an opportunity downfield, but it's only for a moment, and the moment's gone quickly the other direction. Nobody's home. It's a wide open net, but sometimes those easiest ones are the toughest to make.
Well, the second time's the charm. Number 10 puts it away. That's a great follow-up. What did I say, Hot Sauce? I said, hey, they do a 1-2, and sometimes that's all you need.
Indeed, indeed. And we see it unfold right in front of our eyes one more time. Tenino, a great start here in game one. They've been a team that scores and scores in bunches. I think their lowest scoring game in that last series was 3 on any victory. They had that tough game 3 where they were held to just 1 game. So we're going to need to see some of that from Medical, right? Stepping it up not only in that offensive department, which we get right here from Dominator, but being able to keep them from scoring so much equally is important.
Yeah, solid play. Very, very well done. And it was just a cross 1-2 off that right side. And it's one of those kind of freebies that you're like, okay, you know what? They kind of gave it to us. They were playing a little bit fast and loose, and we just kind of took it away. Well done. You want to continue on that spree, right? You want to continue on that pace of play. Quick challenge there as the ball drops in the center, but a spot opens up here as the chase is on double jump and flick, but it's not going to be enough because 13 rolled it off the post and spends it right back in.
Yeah, this is just awkward. I don't think Medical Lake was expecting it to just roll up that backboard and kick right back out to Tenino, and it just puts Dominator in an awkward position. You're now facing backwards. You've got to turn around, but the ball's already heading toward your net. You need to cut it off. Tenino, great positioning yet again. Great situational awareness. And, I mean, I thought they looked great in their last series. They look exponentially better here in this one.
It's getting a little bit more quiet. Minute 35. 3-goal lead. Medical Lake, we haven't seen anything out of the ordinary from their play. Except right there, as that's a streak right by. Opportunity wide open, and 13 will put it away. Medical Lake, very dangerous attempt, and rightfully punished in that front of net position.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position to be in. I think at this point, you kind of take a little bit more risks because you know you have a big deficit to overcome. And in doing so, you open yourself up. You make yourself a little more vulnerable to some of those easier scores from Tenino. And a team like Tenino certainly is going to capitalize on those opportunities in front of you. But we see Razor sneaking in one here as I'm blabbing away. He's able to just kind of sneak this one in between defenders. He finds the back of the net off the backboard there, and he's got some help from a teammate. Medical Lake, they'll put that second one on the board. There's still enough time, but it is dwindling away quickly.
Taking time and more. I need to see a hotter flash in the pan, though. Hot sauce. I want to see even more. The Nino have hit their magic number. They're about to roll right over it. Minute on the dot. They will spike one more. It's 9-0. Relentless right now.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like anytime Medical Lake starts to hoist the sails and put a little wind in behind him, Tenino is right there to rip it away. And that's been an issue here in game one. 6 points for Tenino, just 2 for Medical Lake, and a little less than 60 seconds on the clock for Medical Lake. Even if they can't bring this game back, you'd like to see them find another goal or 2 before this one ends out. Look to build some of that momentum heading into the next one. And, well, they'll cut the lead in half with that one from Dominator.
I mean, it's making. There are moments where we see them really step on up, but it's just surprising that it's taken this long. Still a 3-goal lead for Tenino, and that is very difficult to overcome. Try their best as it's a sprint off kickoff. Ball ekes out to the right side. Number 10 picks it up right into the waiting arms of Medical Lake. And all right now that Tenino need to think about is burning that time. How do we burn 40 seconds without allowing the opponent to score? How are we going to get away with it?
Yeah, it's certainly not a task that I would want to tackle myself. And Tenino finding another one will ensure that they do take game one away here from Medical Lake. But it seemed like at Medical Lake, again, it was just a slow start for them. It seemed like they started to find their way here during the meat and potatoes. So game number 2, I think, is going to tell us a lot. They've got to find a way to answer in game number 2. We've already seen you can't allow Tenino to get up 2 in the series.
No, you cannot. I mean, they've done so well in holding in a lot of their positions. That's a nice little breakaway. So Razor giving something back here. 20 seconds left. That's a nice little kind of re-aggression. I love that. And just saying I'm still here. I'm ready to fight even further. We now have 11 goals on the record. Highest on stream so far today.
I think game 1 was 11 as well between Tenino and the Turbo Titans earlier. I think it was a 6-5 final score. So
it was, yeah.
History maybe repeating itself here a little bit, but still some time left, and it's a breakaway from Medical Lake. They get up to 5 and put that 12 total on the board for a highest one of the day. But again, you just wonder, too little too late, right? 2 goals in 10 seconds is it's just not likely.
No, it's just difficult. Of course, if you can get a kickoff, that's great, but of course we know how this goes. Sprints out to the side, Razor's going to chase. You've already unfortunately burned way too much time. It was a very good race, though. A very good attempt at the end, but Tenino will hang on to game number 1.
I mean, they're used to being in the driver's seat. We saw it in the last series, feeling very comfortable here. And again, much like in game 1 for Tenino 13, it was 9 shots yet again with 6 goals at this time. You see a lot of assists coming in from the teammate there as well. And it seems like they kind of know their role here amongst the team, and they're filling it nicely.
Yeah, again, we also attribute some of those earlier goals to Medical Lake just kind of giving it over, right? In the earlier minute or two, we saw, I want to say, Tenino getting away with a little bit of daylight robbery. They found Medical Lake kind of sleeping at the wheel, so now Medical Lake very much more and awake. This is what I expect out of a team, you know, those final 2 minutes or so. Just good carries, good passes, and really strong rotations. See if they do it once more as Tenino for that early goal to give them a lead in this game.
Oh, it's early pressure yet again. It's a shot attempt that is knocked away by Medical Lake, but they haven't found that clear that they're desperately searching for in Tenino. We know how relentless they can be, but there's the booming clear we were talking about. Tenino cheating so far forward. Dominator able to take full advantage of this one, and Medical Lake will start out game number 2 with the lead.
Really, really powerful, and that was just eyes out for Tenino. Medical Lake spotted that corner and just sent it. One of those rare instances where you can get a very long clear. Ball rolls into Medical Lake territory for the time being. They'll try and juggle it on their own. Quick flick over on that steal. Tenino won't really get it under their control as, again, for Razor Crest, it's all about diverting and taking control. The roll right by as 13 carries it on the corner, but it's a little bit of a nudge on the end. Good boost to clear it, though. The very end for Tenino. Minute pass, down 1.
Scooped up at midfield. We see Razor with a touch. Tenino They'll find a touch of their own. Scoops the boost at mid as well, but ball gets away from him a little bit toward the ceiling. Now Medical tries to cheat forward, and I thought Tenino was going to be able to scoop this one up and put it on target. Unfortunately, no boost in the tank. 13 from a distance, can't find the ball, but he does find the demo here. But unfortunately, it means that that net is wide open once more. Medical Lake will take full advantage, and it's this time they've got that 2-point cushion.
Medical Lake starting to see glimmers of why the other semifinals went as long as it did, why they went all 5. Tenino tried a solo carry with full boost, did not go their way. It's close enough. Tenino and in their way a little bit more. Dominator though, ready with the dribble, flicks over one defender, net is open, and there's no way you're chasing that one. Medical Lake making the defender look silly.
I mean, you're wondering what the difference is between game 1 and 2 because it feels like night and day. Medical Lake, they've got great control of the ball and the spacing. We see a beautiful flick over the dome there as well. And after losing 7-5, they find themselves up 3-0 here to kick things off.
I'm scared right now, Hot Sauce. I'm very scared right now for the rest of this series. We know Tenino, you mentioned, are mainstays in the upper brackets, mainstays when it comes to finals and all. Medical Lake are making a very strong case for why they deserve the crown as well, and why the number beside their name doesn't really matter. 9th seed, who cares? We're flying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get to the playoffs. It just matters that you get there. And then, what happens after that is all up to you. Medical Lake certainly showing that they have the fight, they have the grit, the determination, and the skills to boot here as well. It's a commanding 3-point lead, and they're looking for one more. The flick gets over the head, but Tenino, help will come in just in time to stave off that 4th goal for Medical Lake. And now in transition, looking for one of their own. The ball high and dry. Medical Lake hits a wide open net the other direction.
Oh, and Dominator, just for good measure, puts it away. 6 shots so far and multiple putbacks. Razor even tried to go in to seal it away, but nah.
Oh yeah,
that is a strong finish to the end. And Tenino now have to pull off a Turbo Titan style of recovery here if they want this game and to put themselves on 2.
You can see Medical Lake just having fun with that last goal, almost fighting each other for it, trying to pad the stats. He says, no, you're not taking it away from my hard work there, but back the other direction. Razor now again across midfield, and we're seeing a little more Pong action as we crest that halfway point here. A nice shot from Razor. The pass, the connection, the vision, everything near perfect.
I mean, come on, man. That is as clean as you can get. Yeah, there weren't really any defenders, but I mean, that was clean as can be right there. Tenino in shambles as we're seeing the situation unfold, and their opportunities are getting out of control. You can see here, number 10, a score of 48, who normally has such an impact on getting those goals, on getting that ball moving. Tenino have been completely shut down this game, and I really don't see them coming back into it.
I mean, we haven't seen them scoreless yet. Now, there's still 90 seconds on the clock. We did see they had that tough game 3 in their previous series where they were held to just a single point. So if the outcome stays that it is, I wouldn't quite be worried yet. But if we see a similar performance back-to-back, then I certainly would start to worry a bit more. Medical Lake, another big breakaway. And I think they realize that Tenino is aggressive, that they are maybe cheating forward a bit too far, and it's something that Medical Lake really has been able to exploit here in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I'm wondering if this is just Tenino slowly kind of giving up this game and recognizing, okay, save our energy for game number 3, right? This last minute or 2 will really determine that, because we need to see Tenino off on a roaring start on this next. What is this pass, bro? Razor Crest riding the line after that one. Dominator perfect in that assist.
I mean, it almost feels like Medical Lake was asleep at the wheel in game 1. This team doesn't look like the same team at all. The aerial control, the prowess, the decision making, the awareness. everything really just clicking. I mean, Medical Lake is firing on all cylinders right now, and it does not look like they're slowing down anytime soon.
Solid work. Even more so, just a statement being made by Medical Lake here, saying game one was game one. This game two is ours. Hot sauce. Do we see another game 5 in our mirrors? I feel like that's what we're going to be seeing here because of how this game is going. I mean, look at that. First goal finally for Tenino. But with 24 seconds left, I don't think you're getting much more than a Brazil.
Yeah, you know, and I would love a game 5, but I'm going to need to see a little bit more from Tenino in game 3 if I'm going to be a believer in that. They've got to find a way to shut down this offense here of Medical Lake because they have been on one heck of a storm here in game 2. You talk about 7 unanswered goals. Yeah, Tenino eventually gets one here, but in 5 minutes to hold this team to only a single goal, I think is a big feat on its own.
Roll on through here. As Tenino are set behind. Well, not so far behind as tied. It's a position that I don't think they were really ready for. Medical Lake, what a showcase here. As they flew through that one. 4 saves, just to make note of it, by the way. Just 4 saves total for Medical Lake. They were ready to go ahead and defend their own goals as well.
So many shots downfield for Medical Lake. And I mean, again, it was almost like the roles were reversed. We saw that 7-5 victory for Tenino, but a 7-1 here for Medical. This game 3, I think, is going to tell us a lot.
Tenino, I'm looking at you guys. Tenino, I want to see a fast goal off rip. I don't want to see you lose steam. That's what I'm most worried about. That energy from game 2, throw it away. Game 1 energy is what we want to see back. Fast, frenetic, frustrating to deal with. That's the Tenino I know, at least from what I've seen here in WSSEA. See if they can do so. But for Medical Lake, another squad that's saying we can do the exact same. That's a great steal and a punt back, but Razor is there to defend.
30 seconds has expired. No team able to find that first goal just yet. Medical and Razor looking for one. Both players of Tenino kind of coagulate together. They've got to be careful on the double commit, but now it's a banger of a shot from deep. And, well, you asked, Orbital, you shall receive. Tenino, a quick opening goal to get that early lead.
And it's those individuals once more of 13 and 10. Number 13 has been a little bit faster off the mark, been one of the primary strikers, and when Tenino wins, they tend to be the ones standing at the top with a number of goals. However, you need a bit more than that. You need to have a little bit more comfort at the end. You need a few more goals in there for yourself as well. That's what we're hoping to see here, as that's a sprint right by number 10 getting in on the action as Tenino goes to 2.
Yeah, you see Medical Lake trying to knock this one away. They don't get the touch they want, and that second defender from Medical tries to get across midfield, but 10 is just a bit quicker to the ball. And, I mean, you talk about tug and war. These two teams are really going back and forth from game to game.
It's just out of this world pacing. I think for Tenino, they've gotten their energy back, and it's up to Medical Lake now to not kind of fall into that lackluster position, to fall into that position of, okay, well, we can't really do anything. No. You can always do something. Both teams have shown such fire, such grit when it comes to getting that score, and when it comes to being on the offensive. Let's see it once more, even when you're down.
There's plenty of time for Medical to work back in it, certainly, so we'll see if they can begin to climb that uphill battle. Tenino looking for one more here off the backboard, and they're going to try to keep the drive alive, but it is taken away, and this is a wide open net. The bouncer off the crossbar, though, and that is a tough one. Medical Lake probably should have been able to solidify their first goal. Instead, they're playing defense.
Oh, that hurts so bad. Medical Lake, they're fighting right now. They're challenging it every which way. This just hasn't gone their way yet. In 2v2s, finding that momentum, finding that ride on through is so different. 2 minutes expired. Tenino up 2. Gonna watch as their net is a little bit open. I don't know if he can sprint right by, but Dominator sees a body. Number 13 puts it away once more. Tenino 3-0.
Okay, well, now I'm a believer that this may go to 5 because it is just back and forth night and day. One team dominating, then the next, and kind of trading roles out here. Medical Lake, the silver lining, only 3 goals and, well, a little less than 3 minutes. So, again, still plenty of time in a game like Rocket League, but you feel like they can't afford to forfeit another one. 4-0, at that point, it starts to become a little bit too detrimental.
Yeah, this is... I mean, we see magic. Okay, that's... Just dropped it in there. Like a Sunday stroll. To 9-0, putting themselves at 4.
It is just another drop of water in the bucket. My man raining down buckets from a distance to 9-0. We'll put 4 on the board. And you talk about a great response after a tough 7-1, but this is something that we saw in that previous series. Yeah, it happened in Game 3 for them where they had that tough loss, but again, just able to correct their mistakes immediately and bounce back. It's something that Tenino has always been great at, and we see it one more time here.
I want to see Tenino really put this one away. Whoever wins this one will go on to 2 in this BO5. Keep that in mind, it ain't a BO7, it's a BO5. Win 3 done. With either side already at 1 apiece. So we're kind of watching for a quick demo. Really nice space taken, but you missed that pass. Said you drop it down to your teammate. Number 13 trying to put it away, but not going to happen. 2 minutes. Roller on the side. Can you follow? No, out of boost. Or Razor couldn't put it away either.
And unfortunately, bumping into each other as well and giving the teammates enough space. Medical able to still collect the ball off the side wall. 1 defender to beat, but plenty of boost in the tank here for 13. And let's get a bit of a half clear. Medical Lake looks to scoop it up at midfield, but 10 is able to get over the head of the defender. 1 to beat, pumps off the ball, still standing tall to 9-0. They are a force to be reckoned with here in game number 3.
They truly are, and it won't stop until the very end. That terrifies me in more ways than one. Tenino, roll on through and just continue to play. Keep away. There's almost no dice for Medical Lake to get on in there. They'll try their best all the way through. Minute remaining. Hot sauce. Tenino looking at glory once more. But you know Medical Lake, like this game feels like it means nothing, really. It feels like we're just going to be waiting for that game 5.
Yeah, it certainly, if you're a team out there, though, it certainly feels nice to be in that driver's seat, to know you have a little breathing room. And much like Tenino in that previous one, this time Medical Lake, they find a goal late in the game, but at this point, it almost just feels like a consolation prize.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that back in game 2, though. Same thing with Tenino. They got 1 goal, but it was a Brazil at the end of the day. So neither team really remiss about that. I think they understand the current implications. And playing at your full speed, no matter what, is a way to kind of keep sharp, not let the series get to you. 30 seconds remaining. Medical Lake is kind of watching that timer tick down a little bit off the wall as Razor was maybe looking for a second, but good denial and good challenge. Overall, Tenino looking at their second in this BO5. Going to put it at a 2-1 stand.
Yeah, you know, and Tenino kind of showed us, right? It doesn't matter if you lose 10-1 or 10-9. A loss is a loss, but the nice thing is everything gets reset in the following game. Back to 5 minutes, scores are 0, and Tenino did not let that or allow that 7-1 loss to affect them mentally at all. They get right back out here in game 3. They get right to business, and I mean, not to discredit Medical Lake, we see a late phenomenal goal here from Dominator as well. But again, just too little too late. You cut the lead in half, but 2 goals and regulation comes to a close now. Tenino, they will get to match in series championship point one more time. Looking to be that state champion.
Just as easy as possible. All they need is 1 more. Hot sauce, do you think they do it 3-1 or do you think they do it 3-2? What are we feeling here?
Oh man, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's being wrong. So
yeah,
I'll go with the 3-1 in hopes that we get a best of 5. Oh.
You and I have worked together for far too long. We both know that we are wrong a lot of the time on these things.
So maybe we can cast or curse it into what we want it to be, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're both hoping this is 3-1, wink, wink, at the end of the day. But granted, taking a look, it does feel like the teams have taken a little bit longer in their stance as well. Notably, before in games 1, 2, and 3, they pretty much kicked it off as soon as possible. They were very ready to roll. This time, both sides taking a little bit longer, taking the full minute between games to really discuss, hey, what went wrong? What problems did we actually run into? Was it just a momentum shift? Was it just the comfortability? What exactly caused this massive flip on its head where we have seen both teams dominate as well as be dominated?
Yeah, and it just felt like that we didn't see that same teamwork from Medical Lake in that previous game. That game where they scored 7 points. I mean, we saw a ton of crazy shots from Razor as well, and Razor was really limited in that last game. I think only 166 points, which means he wasn't getting many opportunities on that ball. So need to spread that field, use that teamwork, work on maybe getting a demo, opening up that field, and then a pass play in front of the net, setting up your teammate.
That's going to be an opportunity, though. I saw it coming from a mile away. I saw it. I saw it just between the defenders. Tenino starts things off with goal 1.
Yeah, and you see, Tenino here just being patient. I think that was 10 there, just allowing 13 to work his magic. He baits both defenders in toward that net, and then 10 just lurking in the shadows, waiting to cherry pick it on home. Finds that net. Again, nothing too powerful, nothing too crazy as far as finesse goes, but just a smart shot straight into the net. Gives him that 1-point lead, and well, they're looking to build off the back of it because he's going coast to coast. Almost gets the dribble and the flick. Dominator reads the play well and does find the stop for now.
They both finding the stop, though, with a little bit of boost behind. Razor has to get it out of their own territory, but your out of boost is a problem. Picked up a 5er, but it was nothing really special. Instead, you needed that full. So time a-wasting as Tenino streak back onto the field. And in the current position, minute passes Medical Lake. Taking a little bit of lurk. Razor, though, powers on through. What a save! Crashing off the post.
Sometimes the MVP, that most valuable post. My boy Llama likes to often say, Dominator. We'll scoop this one up, though. Looking to keep that drive alive one more time. They've done a great job so far of keeping this one within range. We saw Tenino begin to run away with it late in that last one. And Medical, well, they can't afford the same flaws here. They're looking for another opportunity. No defenders back. Razor fighting for the ball, and it's a goal line stand from Tenino.
Ooh. Tenino really feeling that pressure. They've done so well in the defensive ends each time. Medical Lake, they are taking their shots. I will give them a massive respect for that. They're definitely fighting at every chance they get. Only problem is, will they have the right opportunity? Ball passes in front of Medical Lake side, but Tenino do not have a third to crest on in. Off the backboard once more, quick touch. Ball pass was a little bit too high, so you nose it above the net. Medical Lake defend against the onslaught very, very well.
There's 13 at midfield, though. I think he tries to fake him out with that jump, but Medical doesn't take the bait. Scoop the ball up. No boost in the tank here for Razor, but still trying to get it done. Tenino, it's a bit of a double commit, which does mean the net is wide open. There's the pass, and it comes from 13, but Medical not able to capitalize. And in the other direction we go again, halfway through what could be our final game of the series.
I think it's only going to get better and better. Quick punt to the right side. In this case, the left. Tenino waiting for the right opportunity. Second half of this game underway. One of the lowest scoring, but we've seen what they can do in a minute. Medical Lake chasing. They're able to prop the ball up. It's going to land in front of the nets. Not as in front as you wish. Dominator trying to get it under their control, but with only 47, you have to play a little more defense. Another pop. Under in front. Tenino sprinting, but in a 1v2 situation. Oh, what a play by 13 to save it.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly had the advantage there and an opportunity to find that equalizer, but again, great situational awareness coming out of Tenino to find that stop and come away unscathed for the time being. Just about 95 seconds on the clock. Tenino gets by one, looking for a little razzle-dazzle, but Medical, if a step up, they find a temporary clear, but Tenino has just been doing a great job here in these rotations, maintaining that ball possession down in Medical Lake territory.
I think they're going to get even more as the net is a little bit wide open. And yet again, it's number 13 to convert their first off of 5 different shots.
The number 13 may be unlucky, but I've got too much skill for it to really matter. No luck needed when you got that much skill in the hands there. Tenino, you put that second one on the board. They get that breathing room, that extra cushion. It's all on the shoulders of Medical Lake to find a way to dig deep and come back. But it's a dangerous ball in front of the net. And Tenino capitalizes. Medical Lake in some serious trouble now.
The trouble is only brewing here. Razor tried to get the defense down, but it just wasn't enough. Hot Sauce, Tenino, they are doing it. They are fighting hard. And yet the story feels written. Whoever scores the first in this series feels bound to win. It's going to sprint once more as Medical Lake falter. And are faltering again. 4-0 is the current score.
And I said, hey, we hear you, Orbital and Sauce, you know, and we know that you're often wrong, but we're here to make you right today. And well, it looks like they may just do it. Now, I mean, Medical Lake still has a chance. It's a small chance, but you know, if you're able to find a couple crazy kickoff goals, certainly it could put it on the board. The only tough thing is you have to cheat forward yourself. You have to get over aggressive, which does mean you open up yourself to some easy goals the other direction. Time slowly dwindling away now, but I'd still love to see Medical fire one into the back of the net here.
I think they can do it. I think they can end this game off with at least a goal or two. We've seen them do it before. We've seen them get spicy with it. Hot Sauce, I think for a fact Medical Lake should be proud of where they come, but Tenino, they just played an absolute powerhouse amount of a series.
I mean, go back and look at the bracket. How many teams did Medical Lake upset just to get here? They should do more than hold their heads high. They should be incredibly proud of all they have accomplished. And this can just be more fuel for that fire to go and get better during the offseason, come back even stronger next season, and clinch that championship rightfully for their own.
It will consistently be a way for them. For Tenino, it's another crown, one that maybe they have been chasing in the middle school division for a while. They should be very proud of overall. One more staple down, as that will be the ball juggled a little bit. But we have crowned our winner of the Washington State Esports action here with their association. It has been the WSSEA Rocket League 2v2 Grand Finals. Tenino Middle School are your champions.
Now they get it done, and they shut out Medical Lake here in the final one. So again, a big GG's to both teams, though. But Tenino getting it done yet again. And they're going to need a new trophy case soon over there in the middle school or the high school if they continue to put winning seasons up on the board. A big GG's to them. And honestly, that was a fun series to watch unfold. Medical Lake really surprised me in that second game, a 7-1 performance against this Tenino team. But we always say it right, consistency is key and consistency is king. Tenino really displayed that here in both series today.
And not just when it comes to the gameplay itself, but also to the mental game. Getting knocked down like that, dropping a 7-0 situation, a 7-1, it doesn't feel good. A lot of your mind can kind of bear down on you. Say, hey, you did something wrong. You messed up here, you messed up there, you messed up everywhere. And you have to know how to rebound. I give a lot of credit over to the Tenino squad to be able to take games 3 and 4 and really push their way to victory. Anyone else would have been shattered under that weight. I give a lot of credit to their mental resilience just as well.
Yeah, they did an absolute amazing job here today. And speaking of amazing folks, we got to give a big shout out to LandFest as well. This broadcast here is part of LandFest's Scholastic Esports program. And that program is a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LandFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. And well, we provide these broadcasts for free of charge to the leagues, the schools, and all the teams that we cover. And it's your generous donations that make all of that possible. So for every $200 that we're able to raise, it covers the operating costs for an entire regular season broadcast. So if you appreciate our work and you're able to help us out, please scan that QR code on screen and donate today.
We do appreciate every single moment. I mean, we give an option and we give a chance to those that, play in these middle school and high school divisions in the scholastic scene and give them a chance to have opportunities like this where you get to literally watch these kids who have practiced and played and competed over the last couple of weeks to months. They get to showcase their entire stuff here in the state playoffs. So once again, every donation does help. Big shout out there. And we appreciate everyone that has made this possible. Also to Zotac, just a little final shout out at the end there.
Another, short but sweet day for all of us here at WSSEA. But before we get going, as always, we want to give a big shout out to everybody behind the scenes, always working so hard and making our jobs that much easier. Big shout out to Jaden and Taylor for producing, observing, and making such a wonderful show for all of us here today. We want to give a big shout out to all the competitors and the teachers, coaches involved in all of this, as well as everybody hanging out with us in chat, whether it's the parents, the teachers, the students, the friends. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you for showing up and showing that support as well. We hope you hit that follow button down below so you don't miss out on any of the action that is to come here in the future. But my name is Hot Sauce again. Beside me here to my digital right is Orbital. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.
In the net, the opportunity abound as we'll crash into that post. And number 13 will put it away for a very fast first goal.
And that's that relentless pressure that you were mentioning a moment ago. To find a way to answer back. And they need a relatively quick response because they do not want Tenino to start running away with it here in game one.
I mean, I said it before, right? This is the speed at which Tenino will play if you are a little bit...
The toughest to make.
Well, the second time's the charm. Number 10 puts it away. That's a great follow-up. What did I say, Hot Sauce? I said, hey, they do a 1-2, and sometimes that's all you need.
So we're going to need to see some of that from Medical, right? Stepping it up not only in that offensive department, which we get right here from Dominator, but being able to keep them from scoring so much equally is important.
Yeah, solid play. Very, very well done. And it was the chase is on double jump and flick, but it's not going to be enough because 13 rolled it off the post and spends it right back in.
Yeah, this is just awkward. I don't think Medical Lake was expecting it to just roll up that backboard and kick right.
Play. Except right there, as that's a streak right by. Opportunity wide open, and 13 will put it away. Medical Lake, very dangerous attempt, and rightfully punished in that front of net position.
He's going to capitalize on those opportunities in front of you, but we see Razor sneaking in one here as I'm blabbing away. He's able to just kind of sneak this one in between defenders. He finds the back of the net off the backboard there, and he's got some help from a teammate. Medical Lake, they'll put that...
Even more. Tenino have hit their magic number. They're about to roll right over it. Minute on the dot. They will spike one more. It's 9-0. Relentless right now.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like anytime Medical Lake starts to goal or two before this one ends out, to build some of that momentum heading into the next one, and, well, they'll cut the lead in half with that one from Dominator.
I mean, it's making... There are moments where we see them really step on up, but it's just surprising that...
Tackle myself, and Tenino finding another one will ensure that they do take game one away here from Medical Lake, but... It seemed like at Medical Lake, again, it was just a slow start for them. It seemed like they started to find their way here during the meat and potatoes.
A lot of their positions. That's a nice little breakaway. So Razor giving something back here. 20 seconds left. That's a nice little kind of re-aggression. I love that. And just saying I'm still here. I'm ready to fight even further. We now have
a bit, but still some time left, and it's a breakaway from Medical Lake. They get up to 5 and put that 12 total on the board for a highest win of the day. But again, you just wonder, too little, too late, right? 2 goals in 10 seconds is, it's just not like, we know how relentless they can be, but there's the booming clear we were talking about. Tenino cheating so far forward. Dominator able to take full advantage of this one, and Medical Lake will start out game number 2 with the lead.
Really, really powerful. And
Tank 13 from a distance, can't find the ball, but he does find the demo here, but unfortunately it means that that net is wide open once more. Medical Lake, they'll take full advantage, and it's this time they've got that 2-point cushion.
Ready with the dribble, flicks over one defender, net is open, and there's no way you're chasing that one. Medical Lake making the defender look silly.
I mean, you're wondering what the difference is between game 1 and 2, because it feels like night and day. It's a wide open net the other direction.
Oh, and Dominator, just for good measure, puts it away. 6 shots so far and multiple putbacks. Razor even tried to go in to steal it away.
Long action as we crest that halfway point here. A nice shot from Razor. The pass, the connection, the vision, everything near perfect.
I mean, come on, man. That is as clean as you can get. Yeah, there weren't really...
Worry a bit more. Medical Lake, another big breakaway. And I think they realize that Tenino is aggressive, that they are maybe cheating forward a bit too far. And it's something that Medical Lake really has been able to exploit here in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is off on a roaring start on this next. What is this pass, bro? Razor Crest riding the line after that one. Dominator perfect in that assist.
I mean,
because of how this game is going. I mean, look at that. First goal finally for Tenino. But with 24 seconds left, I don't think you're getting much more than a Brazil.
Yeah, you know, and together they've got to be careful on the double commit, but now it's a banger of a shot from deep, and, well, you asked, Orbital, you shall receive. Tenino, a quick opening goal to get that early lead.
And it's those individuals once more of 13 and for yourself as well. That's what we're hoping to see here, as that's a sprint right by number 10 getting in on the action as Tenino goes to 2.
Yeah, you see Medical Lake trying to knock this one away. They don't get the touch they want, and that second defender from Medical tries to
sprint right by, but Dominator sees a body. Number 13 puts it away once more. Tenino 3-0.
Okay, well, now I'm a believer that this may go to 5 because it is just back and forth.
I mean, we've seen magic. Okay, that's just dropped it in there like a Sunday stroll. Tenino putting themselves at 4.
It is just another drop of water in team out there, though. It certainly feels nice to be in that driver's seat, to know you have a little breathing room. And much like Tenino in that previous one, this time Medical Lake, they find a goal late in the game, but at this point, it almost just feels like a consolation prize. If you lose 10-1 or 10-9, a loss is a loss, but the nice thing is everything gets reset in the following game. Back to 5 minutes, scores are 0, and Tenino did not let that or allow that 7-1 loss to affect them mentally at all. They get right.
I think they're going to get even more as the net is a little bit wide open, and yet again, it's number 13 to convert their first off of 5 different shots.
The number 13 may be unlucky and come back, but it's a dangerous ball in front of the net. And Tenino capitalizes. Medical Lake in some serious trouble now.
The trouble is only brewing here. Razor tried to get the defense down, but it just wasn't enough. Series feels bound to win. It's going to sprint once more as Medical Lake falter. And are faltering again. 4-0 is the current score.
Tenino said, hey, we hear you, Orbital and Sauce. You know,
was the first in this series, feels bound to win. It's going to sprint once more as Medical Lake falter. And are faltering again. 4-0 is the current score.
Tenino said, hey, we hear you, Orbital and Sauce. That just to get here, they should do more than hold their heads high. They should be incredibly proud of all they have accomplished. And this can just be more fuel for that fire to go and get better during the offseason, come back even stronger next season.